Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it will be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! A little bit of backstory. I'm a full-blooded Puerto Rican and was born and raised there. Now, as some of you may know, Puerto Rico is a US colony, apparently the oldest one in position. This will come in later, but for now let's talk a bit about me and my family. I am 15, and I'm the only son, though not the only offspring of my parents. My parents raised me as a mature man, to think before acting and a highly smart human. Compared to people like this entitled mother. Irrelevant to the whole story, my parents divorced about 2 years ago. That's how I ended up in the US, where I met this wild demon. So I was shopping with my mom and her friend from her job. They were going to buy a lot of clothes or something like that. My mother told me if I wanted to stay at a pinch nearby. And well, since I'm a very antisocial guy, I obviously didn't say so. I took out my phone, a Razer Phone 2, a pretty expensive gaming phone, which I found used at $250 on eBay in great condition. Practically new except for some dust in the speaker grills. I booted up when I saw mother carrying a toddler with a guy, the same age as me. Yeah boy, kitten. They were both smaller than me, especially the mom. The guy sat on the same bench as me. "What a nice phone you have," says the kid. So I thank him kindly and very politely. "Which iPhone is it?" I was stunned a little bit by this dumb question. Oh no, this is actually an Android. Razer Phone 2 to be exact. Though it's not very cheap. He cuts me off though. "Ew, Android? That garbage isn't worth 20 bucks. You poor people should die." Wow, I was confused. Nobody responded to me with such hostility in my entire life. This phone is worth same as an iPhone." "No, it isn't," he responded with a childish tone. Then I stood there in silence. I was not in the mood for an argument. "Why are you bothering my son?" said the demon. I was speechless and extremely confused by this old woman. "Excuse me?" "Mom, I want the flashy phone." He is literally my age. Asking for something from his mom at that time? Also, wasn't he trash-talking Android? "Alrighty, give me your phone." What? Pardon me? "You heard me. Are you deaf or what?" "No. I don't know what was happening, to be completely honest." "Hand it over, punk." I quickly realized what was happening and retaliated with the same hostility. "I am not handing nothing, punk." Then the toddler started crying out conveniently after she pinched the toddler's leg. "Look, you made my baby cry." "You crazy witch. You harmed your own child?" "Don't you raise your voice over me, Pratt." A few people appeared out of nowhere and then she played victim. "This kid stole my phone and then made my toddler cry. Someone call the police." The neck kid tried to steal my phone. I managed to get a grip and push him away, and he almost fell. My mother and her friend came running and asked what was happening. "Hey, what's happening? These jerks are trying to steal my phone." Her friend says, "I'm gonna look for policemen. I'll be back, okay?" By the way, this was all in Spanish. So we hear the entitled kid says, "Stupid Mexicans, go back and climb that wall again, you illegal witch." I'm a literal clone of my dad. We like the same stuff, we love the same stuff. And we hate the same stuff. Except my feelings are 20 times stronger, even though I hide it extremely well from everyone. You don't want to mess with my dad when he's angry. And oh boy, you don't want to mess with your boy Kitson. Especially when he's mad. I snapped him before thinking. I grabbed him by the shirt, pretty ugly by the way, and said to him with my deepest voice, "What did you just say?" He was scared for a moment and then he gave me the "Ew, don't touch me" look. "Take your hands off me." I tell him, "Are you feeling hungry? Because I can give you a free taste of some of your own blood." I punched him so hard that one of his teeth flew off his mouth and broke his lip. Don't ask how, but I did it.
Don't you dare touch my child!
Luckily, I still have my mom who got my back. Then 2 police officers came in.
Oh, thank goodness! This kid stole my phone and then punched my kid!
My mom's friend explained the situation to the police officers. After a bit of intense interrogation, they deduced that I was innocent, and she was charged with verbal assault, attempted theft, and so on. She stole from other people and got away with it before the incident. I think she's going to spend 2 years in jail or something like that. The kid did not save himself either since he got 120 hours of community service. The toddler was sent to his father, which I hope he's a nice man. And the best part? I punched an entitled kid, got money, and got away with it. My partner lost her new job last month unexpectedly, completely out of the blue, for absolute nonsense reason. She's been looking for a new job, but there was no way she would be able to find one in time to avoid a lapse in health insurance, which isn't really an option for us. In order to get her on my insurance, we decided to just go ahead and tie the knot. We've already been in the process of planning our wedding next fall for quite some time. One of the first things we did was pick a venue. At first, we had our heart set on the local botanical gardens, aka Venue A. We spent a lot of time there and even had a membership for a year before our finances dissolved into chaos. But when we reached out to them, we discovered that their prices and policies are insane. The venue itself has a large rental fee, which we expected and planned for, but then they nickel and dime you with a bunch of other mandatory charges. You have to use their vendors. Everything is per guest. They have a 125 guest minimum. We don't even know that many people, let alone that many we would want at our wedding. All told, it was going to be upward of 10k for their most basic packages. And on top of all of that, they and their vendors couldn't even promise me a meal I could eat. I am violently allergic to gluten, and so is most of my family. So naturally that was out of the question. We picked a different place, Venue B. It was a local arboretum with much more reasonable costs and policies, extremely helpful staff, and options for food allergies. We still plan to have our real wedding there next fall and couldn't be happier with our choice. But when we were deciding where to have our little marriage ceremony this week, with just our closest friends, I had an idea. There were only 6 of us. So I had everyone buy a regular general admission ticket to Venue A. We went in, found a little secluded corner, and held our tiny ceremony there without all the nonsense charges. We then pranced around the venue taking lots of cute pictures together to celebrate our marriage, all for the low price of general admission. And because of extra pity, whenever we do have the financial leeway to become members again, we're going to instead sign up for membership with Venue B. They are both part of the National Reciprocation Program, so membership at one grants entry at the other. And we've decided that Venue B deserves our money more. Suck it, Venue A. Context: I used to play in a rec league. It consisted of 3 gyms, separated. I was in Gym 3 while the entitled mother and kid were in Gym 1. There is about 4 teams per gym. Our teams only faced off twice prior. And now, onto the story. The entitled mother approaches me because I was her entitled kid's matchup. For those who don't know basketball, a matchup is who you are assigned to guard in a man-to-man defensive play. She says,
I'm gonna need you to go easy on my son. Just let him win.
I can't do that, ma'am. It's a championship, and I didn't fight to get here just to lose. We have played hard to get into this position, and we don't plan on losing.
Respect your elders and listen to me.
It's kinda sad how you aren't even confident in your own kid.
Shut up. My precious angel is so much better than you.
That's not true, and I have the stat sheets to prove it. Good day, and good luck to your kid. I walked off and started to warm up. The game started and we won. I dominated her kid, and he only scored once. And I wasn't on the court at that time. We were taking team pictures with the trophy and everything. And the entitled mother was sour and forced her kid to watch her embarrass herself.
I told you to let my son win, you brat.
Her kid had a disappointing look on his face. I'm guessing because his mom didn't believe in his skills and his team. So I gave him a sympathetic look. He says to me, "Good game, you played well." But his entitled mother cuts him off.
No, it was not a good game. My precious baby should have won.
At this point, my teammate ran up and got involved. "Hey OP, is this lady bothering you?" "Yeah, she won't leave me alone." "Back off, lady. You and your team lost for a reason. By the way, good game, kid." "Yeah, good game." The kid was cut off again because his entitled mother slapped him.
I said it was not a good game. We should have won.
The entitled mother put her hand up like she was going to slap me or my teammate next. "Back up."
Excuse me? You heard me. Back up. How dare you talk to me that way? I'm telling your coach.
Our coach then came up and asked if everything was okay. He greeted the kid, and the entitled mother slapped him again. We were drawing stares at this point, and the coach neutralized her and backed her away from her own son. "If you hit that kid again, charges will be pressed."
I don't care. He's my son. He is my property.
Wow, do you really see your own child as property? My teammate then took the kid outside because it was clear that he was in major distress. The entitled mother then flipped and she started to flail her huge arms. She looked like a struggling beluga whale. Cops were called and charges were pressed. The entitled mother was charged with harassment, child endangerment, abuse, and some other warrants of something she did before coming back up again. She was banned from the arena and she served some years in jail. Her kid was later traded to my team the following year, and he told me that his entitled mother officially lost custody of him. His parents were divorced. Good for him. So I had a garden maintenance business and had a lady living in a very nice area call me and ask me to do some regular visits. I was actually in the process of selling the business but made 6 visits. She was pretty bad at paying, but had paid the previous invoice, so I let her balance grow to about $300 before sending numerous reminders. When she found out I was selling the business, she obviously decided to try and not pay me. I was texting/emailing her every few days and she would ignore 90% of the messages and eventually asked me to stop harassing her, stating she had COVID and would settle it the following week. I basically written this off in my head, not caring about the money but was angry because she's a high-profile lawyer, lives in a rich suburb, and had the means to pay me. I also mentioned the situation to my mom, who said that I shouldn't threaten a lawyer and should just walk away. Once the business had sold, I found her lawyer profile and where she works. This is a big company in the city and I noticed they had Google reviews open but had 0 reviews. I left a 1-star review very openly, stating this was not about the company but her, and what had happened exactly. By this point I've moved to South America for 6 months of backpacking and I didn't really care what would happen. I got a call from Jordan, the new owner of the business, the next day, saying he'd received a call and was having legal action threatened against him and asking me to remove it. I told him the situation and asked for 24 hours more to resolve it, and if it got too heated, I would take it down. He previously worked for me and I consider him a friend, so thankfully he was all good with that. I quickly spoke to my brother who has a law degree, just to make sure she was just bluffing. At the end of the day, it is not illegal to make a Google review. I then reviewed an email demanding I remove it and she would pay me. I very strongly worded a response saying it will not be removed until money is clear in my account. I fell asleep then, And when I woke up, I had 3 more emails initially threatening me, then eventually saying that she had paid the money. Once I checked the money was in account, I removed the post. She had made it very clear that she was under extreme pressure from her firm. I'd also sent the email to the reception, and I'm sure the whole office was aware of this incident and her reputation had been affected. Moral of the story: if you have a public profile, do not treat people badly in the days of the internet. I also feel especially content that I faced up with a lawyer who probably thought she could scare me and not pay and give me a taste of their own medicine. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.